here with Emma. It's 11:53, January 15th, a Thursday, and got my coffee and my Emma. And here, you want to see my coffee mug? It's cute. I think it's cute. Anyways. I braided my hair too, see? But it's like a little short braid. But I think it's cute. I'm kind of good at doing people's hair or doing hair because I'm a creative person. So the only thing is I have really bad patience, so being a hairstylist and me would not work out. But see her head? It bothers me, but that's okay. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, I worked at a hair salon before, and it was my favorite of all my jobs. I mean, they were so unbelievably awesome there. You pretty much got to run the show yourself, and it was like the perfect job for me because they only had, like, sometimes I would just be working there alone for like 5 hours, and I'd be the manager, and that was actually almost every shift. So for like a couple hours I'd be working with one person, and then the next 4 hours I'd be working by myself in a salon. It was a salon, but it was also mostly hair products and makeup, nail polish, just tons of beauty products, and face products, facial stuff. They had like a bunch of skincare products, and it was good. It was probably my favorite job. They were like the coolest managers ever. They just let you pretty much run the show yourself. I mean, there was rules, but not too many. And that was surprising because it was at South Coast Plaza, which is if you're not aware, it's a mall in Costa Mesa, where I've worked in a lot of times. I've worked at, actually, you know what, maybe I'll just go through all the jobs I've had. I started out at Express, which is obviously people know the clothing store Express, and I worked there. First of all, I remember the person who hired me and everything, in Main Place Mall in Santa Ana in California. I worked there for like a month or two, maybe 3 months, can't remember, not very long. And then I think that they just, I'm not sure if I quit or they just laid me off. I think they told me that it wasn't right for me and they just kind of like laid me off. Then I started working at Orange Park Heights. I think that's where I worked next. Was it Orange Park Heights that I was working in? I think so. I think I was working in Orange Park Heights. And which is obviously where I live now, and I worked here for like, I think a year maybe. And I was shopping in the mall, and I was shopping at South Coast Plaza in a store called Zara, which they used to have really cute clothes, but I don't shop there anymore. But anyways, that was when I was like really, really obsessed with fashion. Actually, my obsession with fashion started when I was like pretty young, and I was just really ultra aware of it. And I would just stay online and look at fashion stuff all day long when I was little. Not little, but like in high school. And it kind of got me this buzz. I got this like high off of it, and of course anything you get a buzz from or you get high off of, you just look at the pictures over and over again. And I was like, whoa, this is inspiring, because anything that's motivating is inspiring, you know? So I'm like, I was kind of bulimic. I threw up a lot. Not a lot, sometimes, but just to wear the clothes I wanted. And that's just like the mentality of a really feminine person. It's kind of sad. But anyways, I got so high off of it, you know? And yeah, I was shopping. I was working here and I was going to school. My dad bought me this Audi, and I was just so spoiled, you don't even know. He bought me this Audi, right? The Audi A4 with the Ultra engine in it, so like the kind that makes a lot of noise when you speed. Well, it doesn't make noise, it just has kind of a throttle effect. And it was beautiful. It was all black, the smaller kind, which was perfect for me. The little mini Audi, not mini, it was just a smaller Audi A4. And A4, yeah, it was like 2004, 2005 brand, and year, model. And it was like, it was all black, and it was completely black on the inside, 100%. Black, leather, interior, and it was a nice car, but I mean, my dad was so sweet for buying it for me. But anyways, I got in trouble with that car, and I ended up sort of crashing into something, I think. I can't remember. I'd have to think about it, but I would recall what happened if I thought about it. But anyways, I don't know why I brought that up. That has nothing to do with my jobs that I had. Yeah, so I'd just be telling you the story of my life if I went through all the details of everything. So I just want to explain like the jobs I had, you know. And yeah, I was shopping at Zara one day, and I was just cruising through the store, and I felt this like wave of energy sort of rush towards me. I don't know, it was some kind of like synchronicity thing. And then this guy came up to me, and he's like, hey, would you be interested in working at Club Monaco, which is another store, which is a store in South Coast Plaza. And I think I had heard of it before, but I'm not really sure. I can't remember, because shit, I'd have to think about it. But anyways, he's like, you know, you're beautiful. I don't know what he said, but he just mentioned the fact that like he thinks I'd be a good fit for the store or something. So anyways, that was a long time ago, but I worked there for, I don't know, maybe 8 months or something, but it was very could be longer than 8 months, I don't remember, but oh yeah, he recruited me, that was it. And I remember that experience probably the most out of all my job experiences. But it was very fun. That was before when Club Monaco, the store, the brands, they actually had like extremely beautiful clothing and really good taste, style, and everything. And there was a certain essence, a certain like quality about it. And now it's just gone to shit, really. But at the time, it was wonderful. It was perfect. And yeah, so it was still hard work, though. I mean, it wasn't easy work. I mean, I probably could have handled it better if I was more mature, but... And then I worked at, oh god, what was it that I worked after that? I think it was Swarovski Crystal, which was very fun. That was probably the most fun. And I worked there for like 6 or 7 months. And I loved that. I worked, I don't want to go into all the details. There's so much that I could say. But, let me just microwave my coffee. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I ended up having difficulties in the end. Just from working myself too hard and stuff. So they laid me off at that job, and then I went and I applied at a I can't remember if this, oh no, this was after Club Monaco, I'm sorry. So scratch the Swarovski, I went to try to apply at this really high-end restaurant in South Coast Plaza, and I got the job, and as a hostess there, it was a really, like, upscale, basically I think it was a steakhouse, not steakhouse, I think it was, well anyways, I cannot remember, but it was like it was a nice restaurant, and they had really good food there, actually. Very, very good food. But anyways, there was upstairs, downstairs, you had to memorize all the tables, it was crazy. And I was like, nah, I can't handle this, and I only worked there for like 2 months. You have to be really outgoing, and I am not. And my voice is really quiet. I tend to be just really mellow. And I couldn't handle it, so they quit, or they yelled at me, and some stuff happening because I'm so sensitive. And so I quit that, and then I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch. I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch, the regular store. I believe that was after Swarovski, which I worked there for like 7 months, 8 months. After Swarovski, I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch, so that's like job 5. Abercrombie and Fitch, and I worked there for like, what, a month or something? I don't remember, not very long, because you had to wear sandals, right? Yeah, I had to wear sandals, and yeah, that was really bad. I was just like, not into that, and it was just not good, but it was good for all the time I was there. I mean, can't complain, right? And it's experience. And then I worked at, no, that's like 6 jobs already. And then after that, I worked at Guess. Yeah, I did. I worked at Guess. Guess, you know, the sexy clothing store for men and women. Worked there for like 4 months, I think. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, I don't remember. Could have been 2 months, I don't remember. But I worked there for the time that I did. And that was really bad. That was bad, bad, bad. There was a bunch of sharks in there. A bunch of really outgoing, loud people. Party people, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't handle it. Could not handle it. It was not me. There was a gay guy in there, I remember very, 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 very specifically. And he was really nice and really like attractive and stuff like that. And kind of like totally non-judgmental. He came across as really non-judgmental. But he was a go-getter. He was good at his job, lots of energy and stuff. And anyways, whatever, I could go on and on about stuff. But so there, and then I worked at a jewelry store. I'm not making this up, guys. I worked at a jewelry store in this place, the shoe store, off Broadway, Shoe Warehouse. I worked there. In the back, they had a section where they sold a bunch of gems and all real jewelry, just tons of them, tons of rings, necklaces, whatever, jewelry, lots of expensive diamond rings and stuff like that. Not the wholesale stuff, I think it was just more specialized, you know, but it was nice. And you know, honestly, I did not like that job, but at least I tried, right? So I worked there, and then I worked for my dad on and off. Like, I worked at his car washes. I've worked at another clothing store, actually, which was during the summer. And I found that job. I was looking for it, and I went in and applied because I saw it online. For it was called Bohemian Boutique. You could probably already kind of get a picture for that. But I worked there for, I don't know, a good while, and I remember that. I remember the whole thing, everything. But anyways, it was like there was one store in on the Balboa in Newport, and the other one was in Corona Del Mar. And I would just switch back, and there was this really tiny, skinny girl that was like super, like, peppy, and she was a smoker. She was like 90 pounds or something, probably like my height, 5'7". And she was really beautiful, like really pretty skin and stuff, and she had a boyfriend. She was like really fashionable and talked really well. And she would come in with like her monster drinks and her cigarettes, and always in a good mood, and people liked her. It was funny. But anyways, she was we worked there, and then she was really nice, actually, really nice, and I liked her. And then I got fired from that job, and that's it. And then that's all I did. But I went to community college and back, and then Cal State Fullerton, and then I kind of like, once I started getting serious with Dino, or at least taking advantage of the situation, I kind of, and dated like Dan, I guess, for a little while. I just kind of tuned out of all that stuff, and I never really took it seriously. I applied at a whole bunch of places, but people were kind of like, she's just not motivated, or she's not in that kind of mind frame to be able to start a job. And yeah, so I didn't do it anymore. That was it, and so that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I know it's kind of depressing, talking about the past. It's like, why would you go to the past, Why would you go to the past? Like, it doesn't make sense. Well, no, it doesn't, but it's fun to reminisce sometimes, at least. And it's good for me to put it out there so people know that I'm not afraid of working, and I'm also a very organized, not very, but I'm a fairly organized, fairly sufficient person, especially when it comes to sales and things like that, because I'm better at that than I am at, I'm better at sales because it fuels my passions, I guess you could say, and rather than other jobs would, because a lot of creative people or more social people are better at sales because it just gives them that warmth in their heart. They're able to like exchange energy with other people, and that's what they need to get going on a daily basis. And that's how I am personally. You could call it vampirism or whatever, feeding off of people's energies and all that, but whatever you want to call it. But for me, it's just it's like, feels really good, and a lot of people in sales are like that. They feel accomplished when they are able to like kind of be more I guess be able to have confidence there's the word I was looking for, confidence. They're able to have confidence and grow confidence from looking people in the eye and just doing the best they can. Like for me, I'm not a very good communicator. I tend to be a little awkward. In fact, most of the time I am. But still, a lot of what made me good in sales is that I had an eye for things, an eye for detail, an eye for being able to tell like little things, being able to give advice, being able to kind of show people what they would like. And it's an art. Like sales is sort of an art. Some people are better at it than others. And even you can be quiet and introverted like me and still be good at sales. But it has to be the right time. It can't be, if you're not ready or if you're not meant for it, it's not going to happen for you. Like, it may have been meant for me at that time, but doesn't mean it's going to be meant for me in the future. So that's why I don't put a lot of emphasis on, like, it's the purpose of my life, because I don't think it is in the future. But it was in the past, I guess, is what I'm saying. And, anyways, I kind of went all over the place with that. Like, if we want to talk about, like, careers and stuff like that. I went into psychology at Cal State Fullerton because I thought that was going to be right for me. But it just wasn't. Like, it didn't spark any enthusiasm or anything for me. Like being in sales did, where I can use my imagination more and I can be more creative. I can be more social or just work on my element, being in my element. And being in my element in sales is it's a good combination. If you feel like you're in your element when you're doing something, your chakras are in balance, your chakras are probably spinning, you're probably at a higher frequency. And it's a very spiritual, actually it can be a very spiritual job. Some people like to think it's like black magic or something. And I guess you can relate sales to black magic. You can, but I don't know if I'd go that far. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know, I'm just going all over the place right now because I feel like it, I guess. But yeah, there's just, I thought, psychology would be good for me, blah, blah, blah. So I've been to therapist before, and, I mean, it's kind of a creepy business. I don't know. I don't think I'd make a good therapist. I don't like to be, I don't really like being, like, into people's business. Like, I don't like that very much. And so I don't think I'd be a good therapist. I don't know what I was thinking going into psychology. But, and then I was thinking, well, since I'm really into fitness and I'm really into, like, and I feel like I'm in my element when I'm working out, I was like, well, maybe I could be a personal trainer. But no, it's not for me. That's not my niche. Personal training is not my niche. I'm not that girl. I'm not a tomboy. I'm not super, like, I'm not that, like, motivating, like, you can do it, like, just one more, like, I'm not the kind of girl that would know how much weight that you should use. I wouldn't, like, go on the little weight meter and put it on 30 pounds when you're like this tiny little Asian. And I just wouldn't know. I wouldn't have anywhere. Just wouldn't know, you know. It's not that I wouldn't be interested in doing it, which I probably wouldn't, because I'm more of like a let's get in, let's get out kind of person when it comes to working out. It's not like I'd want to be in there all the time, because I wouldn't, to be honest. I wouldn't want to be in a gym all the time. And oh God, sometimes I think about like the people that do work in gyms and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a hard job, because you have to because you have to deal with like sweaty, smelly people like all day. And I don't know. I think like you could definitely pair up the gym with like the fast food restaurant industry or markets or anywhere where they sell food, because I mean, in the world that we live in today, you're in charge of your health, and no one's going to tell you what to eat, and no one's going to tell you how to take care of yourself. It's all your choice. And so what are the people in the gym going to say? Like, no, we don't want your smelly ass in here because we're starting to get sick because of the germs. And that's when you have to hire, like, I mean, you have to hire a lot of Mexicans, or you gotta hire a lot of people to just clean it. And that alone is like a process. And, you know, it's good. Trust me, I'm like full on advocate of gyms and things like that. I think it's a really good thing to be engaged in. But I do have a lot of sympathy for people that work in the gyms and people that own gyms, or gym, like whoever's the owner of LA Fitness, for example. Like, I do have sympathy for him, because that's a lot of stress, you know? Some people could get hurt on the equipment, they could sue. Not that that would really happen, but I guess it's possible. Or germs and sickness, because I mean, people go to the gym sometimes just to get over sickness. And there's a lot of people that have that kind of sensitivity to people getting sick in the gyms and stuff. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I do have sympathy for them. But, you know, I'm sure that it's also fun at the same time, so, and anyone has to make the best out of their situation. But I would not really want to be involved in that process. So, I mean, what else? I've talked for so long. This is like the longest prelude ever to a meditation. But, I don't know. I'm in the mood to talk about, my past, my life, because sometimes I get really, like, happy, and when I get happy, I start to, like, reminisce over the past, because it makes me realize, like, you know, I haven't done shit with my life. I mean, I have done shit with my life. It's not like I haven't, you know. And that's when I look to the past, because it makes me realize, like, I still have time, and I still have, like, all the accomplishments that I've done in the past, you know. So anyways, I worked at Bohemia Boutique, which I said last, and then I worked at the beauty supply store, which I didn't mention yet. And that one I worked at for a year and maybe a year and a couple months, or maybe it was just a year. I think it was a year and a couple months. And switched off between a store in South Coast Plaza, and sometimes I worked in a store in Huntington Beach that they had. Anyways, I don't know. That business was dying when I got there. There was a problem with the manager, and I can't remember what happened. It was like, I don't remember. I thought it was something that was involved with like sex, but I don't think so. I think it was just that she stole some money. Well, I don't really know. I don't really remember, but anyways, they hired a new manager, and she was having some trouble, and she got pregnant and stuff, and good for her though. She was beautiful. I'm sure her baby was beautiful too. She had like really, really intense blue eyes, like just gorgeous blue, like just beautiful shape too, like very intense. And she had like blonde hair and this like gorgeous complexion and interesting body type, but whatever. And I don't know, interesting girls that worked there. But I don't really feel like going into that actually. So have I talked enough? Because I don't remember a lot of the little details of what I just said. I'm just trying to speak my mind, you know? Today is like one of those days you just want to speak your mind and you don't really care if anybody cares or not. Because it's on your mind. And why not, you know? So, anyways, my other videos, my other preludes for my meditation videos will be a little bit more spiritual in nature, probably in the future. Maybe going into other subjects, not just my personal life and whatever. Although I think it's important if anybody was interested in me to date me or to be my friend. Not that I'm looking for that, but if someone wanted to be my friend or they were interested in hiring me for something or dating me or, God forbid, marrying me, then at least they would like understand that I do have a life and I have done stuff. You know, I've had 3 cars in my past. I've had an Audi A4. I've had a Toyota Camry, the gray kind, which I love that car. I love that car so much. And I'm very aware of things, so it's not like I'm a boring, not very interesting person. I'm very aware of things. Like that Camry car I had, and they created a new model, and I'm one of those people that notices the differences, like straight off the bat. Like it takes me a second to figure it out. I'm like, you know what? The new model is just not sexy compared to the old one. Not that sex appeal is important, but for a car, sometimes it is. And when you downgrade, I'm always a little bit like, that's interesting. But whatever. And then now I have a really old Camry, which I still love. I still love it. You know, and with the license plate 6DSZ, which I've been trying to figure out, like, if there's any meaning behind license plates. And I was like, I wonder what DSC represents, like if there was like an actual person with those initials. And I was thinking, okay, well, it could be I was actually thinking it had something to do with a Satanist, DSC, but I don't think so, or like a Mason, or something. Or, yeah, like I was thinking it had maybe something to do with Anton LaVey or some Satanist or some Mason person, or I don't really know actually, but it's a really, really old car, so maybe the person's dead already. I'm not sure. DSZ. I don't know. Interesting initials. Well, anyways, I'm sure it has nothing to do with anything, but I tend to be a very speculating person. I tend to be a very, I'm always like speculating. I love the idea of meanings behind things and coincidences and like, what's the other word that I can use to describe how I think sometimes? I can't think of it. Whatever, there's another word, but sometimes I just think it's just me being mentally ill, and I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. But, oh, and I've been talking for 41 minutes, which is kind of extreme. And, Dino, what a horrible name, Dino. Ugh. Praise the Lord Jesus for saving my soul in the future, because I am a crazy one. Anyways, we can just keep talking here for a little while. I'm going to get to the meditation, okay? I'm going to get to the meditation. I take meditation very seriously. I take spirituality very seriously. I mean, look into my eyes. But, anyways. I've been telling myself I need to get over him texting me and calling me a bitch over and over again. And this has been going on for 4 years. When things go south for him, he puts it all on me, even if I'm in a good mood. It's such a catastrophe. And, well, anyways, he goes, sorry. These guys are so, he's so dumb. You know why I think he's dumb? Is that you want to find a person, a girl who you can relate to, but you can also, like, respect, but someone who you appreciate, like, and he just doesn't appreciate me. I'm a Scorpio, okay? And if we want to go into astrology, I'm a Scorpio. He is an Aquarius. We can talk about this all day. I mean, I have the time. But Scorpios and Aquarius people, they're not a love match. I mean, it's written in the books. And a lot of people, I really feel this, are with the wrong partners. You need to go into your soul and figure out what it is about you that you can't fall in love with this person for. An Aquarius and a Scorpio together is a very business-like relationship. And it's good for a Scorpio because a Scorpio is can be a very business-like person. And if you are just going to, if you don't like that, then don't get involved with a Scorpio, because a Scorpio is not going to try to please you or try to make you appreciate them. You either do or you don't. They're very black and white. And if we see that we're not growing with somebody, you're a business partner for us. And you're not a spiritual person. You're not someone who, you could fall in love with. And, and it is a challenging relationship. There's challenge there when it comes to an Aquarius and a Scorpio together. There can be happiness. There could be goofing around and stuff like that. Playful natures. But, when it comes to, like, a deep, like, transformative sort of love, you don't get that with a Scorpio and Aquarius together. I don't think you do. And, I don't even think that exists nowadays, but if it did, you surely wouldn't choose it. I don't know. But I have no problem with Aquarians. I have no problem with him being an Aquarius. It's not like I don't judge people, like, based on their signs in negative ways. Like, if you're not compatible with me, then, or if you're not pushing me in the right direction, then we're having a business relationship, and we can appreciate that aspect of the relationship. It doesn't have to be about falling in love and butterflies and stuff. And it never was with us, with me and Dino. But it was a power, because Aquarians are powerful, Scorpios can be powerful, and so when you get two people with that sort of power relationship, you get a positive relationship in some ways. But if you want to be a little kid about it and get these jealous tendencies and stuff, then the relationship isn't going to work out, because a Scorpio doesn't like that. And anyways, but yeah, we can be pushed, we can be hurt, and you can hurt us and you can make us feel like shit, or you can try to manipulate us. He just texted me a bunch of times, just bitch, asshole, bitch, whatever. It's just, all I have to say to that is just go read a book or something. Like, I don't really respond well to ignorant speech, because I personally don't think God would, if there was a God, or if there is a higher power, that would be it just wouldn't help at all to be calling yourself a bitch, or besides jokingly. But he's not doing it jokingly, and even if he was, it's like, wow, are you that pathetic? Like, you can't just say something to... It'd be different if he said, I don't think that your problems are very good for me. I don't like the fact that you're OCD. That's different. That's like growing in a relationship. It's like, oh, you don't like that I'm OCD? Okay. Well, what is it that would make it so that I wouldn't push your buttons because of that? And then he would say something like, well, help me clean the floors every once in a while, or whatever. I don't fucking know. Sorry, excuse my language. But it's different with him. It's like I'm just a hoe or a prostitute to him. And whenever I say that, it's like we're completely separate, different people. Whenever I say, like, well, it's like I'm a prostitute to you, because we can't really even respond to each other like we're real people. It's like an alien relationship. And he goes, he'll just change the subject. He does not respond to anything I say. And, because, and I don't know. It's a mystery to me. It's a mystery. Like, And then there was a time when he's like, I'm the king, you know, and he would call me a queen and stuff. And he wouldn't even like hate when I said, no, you're not the king. It like wouldn't faze him. He's like, nah, 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 nah. Like he's so egotistical, like nothing phases him. You could say you're not the king and he just wouldn't believe it. He'd be like, what? Like, I mean, he doesn't even have 1 ounce of like a compassionate bone in his body. And I'm like the complete opposite. And it's just really weird. And it just gives me pain over and over again when I try to talk to him in a compassionate way, because it's very sociopathic when you're like that, when you can't be human and like be emotional or talk about real stuff. Like, I like it when people talk to me about like how they feel about the homeless or how they feel about a religion or something. I mean, that's fun. And he's just not like that. He's just like, I want tits. I want to touch your tits now. Like, that's it. That's the depth to our conversations. And really, I'm not going to try to be harsh right now, but I mean, I'll straight up say it. A lot of Aquarius guys are like that. They don't know how to reach a certain depth of understanding. It's creepy. It's creepy. And what was I gonna say? But the funny thing is, I noticed this exact same quality, I guess, and we can go right back towards astrology. I noticed the same quality in Aquarius people with my mom and my dad. My dad, being a Pisces, had the ability to, I don't know if I'm right about this, but he's a Pisces, and women can fall in love with Pisces. You may not know that because we live in a time where everything is kind of a challenge. We're not in the 80s anymore. But women fall in love with Pisces men. Let's just put it that way. They do. And Pisces men can only really fall in love with certain women. And they're very good. It was said that Jesus Christ was a Pisces. And my mom was an Aquarius, and Aquarius people have an element of the I don't want to say Satanism, but that they have a dark force. And the Pisces doesn't really respond well to that. It can get very bad. And it's not that there's anything wrong with the Aquarius's nature. It's just not compatible with Pisces. And this is how I feel. But women fall in love with Pisces men. And so my mom and my dad had a really problem in their relationships. And what I think is it was because there was a lot of women that wanted my dad or liked my dad. And for my mom, there was a different force of nature for her. And it just was weird. I don't know. My dad was never really able to like fall in love with my mom. I don't think. And, you know, we can go far back into the 80s with this kind of conceptualization in relationships back then, when people were more in their elements. Perhaps they weren't. Perhaps we still are, but I've been talking for 55 minutes now, and it's getting a little bit absurd. But the point of what I'm saying is that I am a Scorpio. I am a compassionate person. I'm very understanding. And so I understand the inner natures, especially when it comes to love. And I understand the elements. I understand the frequencies. I understand the inner psychologies of humans when they're in their best forms, like angels are, or whatever you want to call it, Christ-like. But there can be jealousy in this world because some people, they want reincarnation. They want other people's forms, other people's energies, other people's powers, or whatever. And this is where you get really in depth with this stuff, because some people, they're not okay in their own skin. They're not okay with astrology and how it, affects people's lives and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I could go on and on, but I don't really have too much evidence right now. But yeah, no, being a Scorpio, I can understand. And I think that's probably why a lot of Aquarian people would respond to me, because they understood that I was born and raised from a mother who was an Aquarius. And so I saw what they're all about. And I can't really like exactly explain how I feel about it too much, but anyways, well, I'll just slip right into the meditation now, because it's been almost an hour of me rambling, and that's not very good for that's not really good for productivity, but I will be productive after I'm done with this meditation here. And so today we'll do, a meditation on, how I was saying that there was the one meditation that I liked with the love frequency? Well, I'm going to try to find that right now. It's a short one, so that's good. For today, at least. Let's see if I can find it here. Right here. Only 6 minutes and 43 seconds. So we'll just do this meditation twice, so then you get double the benefits, possibly. Oh, that was annoying that I just said that, but anyways, we're gonna just do it twice. Why not? Because it's such a short one. So okay, let's play this. I'll like and favorite that on my YouTube, so if you want to watch it on your own time, then you can do that. But I just played it twice, and I've used it before in the past, and it worked better actually in the past, but it still works for me, just not as much as it used to. I even used it on Dino one time. I don't think he remembers. You might. I think it worked when I used it on him, but that was a long time ago. So anyways, that's about it, and I'll do another meditation video tomorrow, obviously. And thank you for watching, and have a good day, and do what you want. Peace. Bye.